Okay, so let's talk about movies.
Okay.
What kind of movie do you like?
Well, my favorite genres are actually, let's see, science fiction, sci-fi,
Mm-hmm.
and horror.
Horror.
Yeah.
What was the last movie you watched? Do you remember?
The last movie I watched was a science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
It was called The Shape of Water.
Okay. Never heard, never seen. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you a little about it if you want to hear.
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
please do.
so it's actually a love story
Mm-hmm.
about a janitor and a merman.
Mom, okay,
A
yeah.
merman, like
Mermaid,
mermaid, yeah,
yeah.
merman. So it's actually I don't want to give away too much of the story, but so this janitor is working at this kind of like this underground government facility,
Uh-huh.
and she cleans the floors next to this giant fish tank, and she never
Right.
knows actually what's inside. But one day,
Ah.
this merman
Mm-hmm.
comes up to the glass, and she sees him, and she instantly falls in love. But the beautiful part
Yeah.
is that he can't speak. He
Mm-hmm.
can't speak English, right? But the beautiful part is she's actually deaf, and she
Oh,
can't hear.
right.
So this like beautiful, amazing relationship kind of blossoms from them. She teaches him sign language,
Mm.
and oh, it's unbelievable.
It's like
I
a
recommend
modern
it.
version of Romeo and Juliet, yeah? Kinda.
Um, maybe. I mean, it's not like they weren't star-crossed lovers per
Okay,
se, but
okay.
no, it's definitely an interesting love story. Yeah, that's the last movie I saw recently.
And what about horror movies?
I actually like this movie called It.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a book written by this horror author Stephen King. Maybe you've heard of
Oh,
Stephen
yes,
King.
yes,
Yeah,
he's a
so he's
famous
super famous
writer, yeah.
author, right?
Mm.
Um, so yeah, this is actually a story about like it's kind of a sci-fi horror mix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, of course, it's one of my favorites. Um, and it's about this like um, alien that comes to this town
Yeah.
and takes a form as a clown, an evil clown, every 65 years. And
Yes.
because he wakes up from his deep sleep and he's hungry because he needs to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes his form as a clown and like kind of terrorizes this town every 65 years. And the movie takes place in the 19 let's see, I think it's the 1970s.
Okay.
And so that's the time when the monster wakes up.
Mm.
This like kind of group of kids starts figuring it out, what's happening in our town, and it's kind of a coming of age tale in the same in a horror movie. I don't
Right.
know, it's really interesting. I hope I didn't ruin it. I'm not going to tell you the ending, of course.
Okay.
But
I'm not a big fan of horror movies.
oh,
It makes me kind of, not to go to toilet or not to go to.
all right.